It's Tuesday. It's Mark Pyers. And it's real talk.
I was walking down the road today, looking for another way
to ease my mind
and help my living.
It's real talk. It's the daily variety show, Mark Pyers Real Talk. I'm here to help you make smarter moves, to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on Tuesday, day 386 in a row of the Real Talk program. And I'm excited to be here with you like I am every day. I'm not really sure what we're going to talk about today. Although I am getting ready to list a new house, so I thought maybe we'd chat about that. I stopped down to my father and mother have a new renovation. My brother, it's like a family affair. I don't think you guys realize this. Before I got into real estate, I worked for my father's construction company when I was on the road as a singer-songwriter. Cross, what's up, buddy? And I traveled the road for about 10 years, and when I wasn't traveling and I wasn't performing, I would be renovating and building homes with my father, with my brother, and my mother is an interior designer. So it's like this family, like, connection. You know, we were the first Property Brothers. Like, I remember us talking about that when that came out. I think it was my brother. He was like, what? They have a show like where these two brothers are out there and they're giving real estate advice. One's a realtor, the other one's a builder. And for 30 years, 40 years, my father, my mother, my brother, myself, and actually, I mean, you could even take it further. My sister-in-law owns a kitchen cabinet company. So it's like literally construction all around. So basically, they do a project or so a year. And just to give you an idea, like they sell immediately. Like first one we put on in Westport sold in 2 hours. The next one sold in 2 weeks, but we had the offer like the first 2 days. And the last one was the longest, but that was just because the market's been a little rough in Westport. However, this property looks awesome. I cannot wait to put it on the market. I went by today. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous colonial, and you got a first floor master that they incorporated into this layout now. It's a whole new floor plan, and it looks phenomenal. It's kind of interesting. I get so busy with my day-to-day in real estate that sometimes I didn't have a chance to stop by in a few months, so I didn't see the progress. And then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa. And they're classic for that, just blowing your mind with detail. So I'm excited about this one, guys. It's going to move very quickly. And if you have an interest in Westport, Connecticut, this is going to be on, I'm calling it somewhere in the 1278 range. How about that? So if you're looking in Westport, Connecticut, you're looking in Lower Fairfield County, I've got a great piece of property hitting the market under 1.3. Totally move right in. Great renovation. So that's what's going on. Today I had some ups and downs dealing with that. That's right. Back to full-time realtor, part-time singer-songwriter. That's really what it is, Cross. I had my full-time... Hold on, we can get Zabrowski. Right? I mean, that gets me amped every time I hear it. Every time I hear Zabrowski scream out like that, I'm just like, yes! Especially, like, I didn't have a ton of energy starting the show today, guys. I'm sure you can tell. I've been here for 386 days in a row. Usually I'm, like, on fire when I start the show. But today I've just been dealing with lots of, like, I had a couple showings and then running back and forth between here and checking out that new listing, the new property. But I have to say, guys, I am now in the process of lining up the next 3 months, and I'm looking for new buyers, new sellers. So if you know anybody who's looking for a real estate agent that's going to be all over it, shoot them my way. And sellers, I was just curious too, when you get down to it, what are you experiencing in the marketplace? Is it the same thing you hear from me, which is price it to sell it? If you don't, you're sitting, because that's really all it is. You can't move a property unless you put the right number on it these days. And if you put the right number on it, it's moving very quickly. Some properties are going multiple bid. I heard a great one the other day. This property has been on for 4 years. And the seller was just like, I'm finally, I want out. You know, seller's fatigue to the fullest. Let me drop the price. They dropped the price to like $865 or something like that. They had 40 people come. 40. So when you see something like that, you start realizing a market is a market. Price is everything. You cannot dictate the price of a market. All you could do is look at the market and price accordingly. If you don't, you're in big trouble. You're going to wind up just losing your shirt because you're going to try to get. And here's the other thing. If you get a good offer in your hand and it's not the offer you want, seriously consider it, because if that person leaves, you're back to nothing. You're back to nothing carrying that property the whole time. Keep that in mind. I had a client lose on a bid recently, and they went and bought something else. This is what happens, guys. No one's going to sit around and wait for you to come to your senses. You need to think quickly, and you need to respond, react. So anyway, I'm going to probably make this a pretty quick episode today just because I have to get back to my house by 5:30 today. So I was hoping to get on around 2:30, and it just didn't happen. So I dropped a song yesterday for you guys. What a Day. A song I wrote many years ago. And it's really a great song. There are several lines in that song that if you listen to anytime, you'll be like, yeah, I need to keep that in mind. Like, some will judge you wrong. Some will hold you closer to the heart. That's a great one. And the grounds will shake when you find your place in life. The grounds will shake when you find your place in life. That's real. And it takes you time. Just because the ground shakes and you kickstart off, don't expect results for like 5 years. Don't expect results immediately. Nothing happens immediately, especially something worthwhile. Anything worthwhile is going to require your time, energy, effort, and determination. You have to prove that you deserve what you're about to get. That's what it comes down to. There's random people who throw a stone out there and they hit someone in the head and a lottery ticket falls out and it's the winning lottery ticket. But very, very, very rare. Most people work their tail off. You don't see any of the work. All you see is the accolades. All you see at the end is they're driving the Bentley. Ooh, they've got that house on the hill. Yeah, do you know what they did? Do you know how hard they worked to get the house on that hill and that Bentley? They worked so hard, so much harder than you're willing to work. You got to continue driving and don't get discouraged. This life is so discouraging. Jeff, right? Life is discouraging no matter how you look at it. There aren't enough supportive people out there. There's more people there's more people out there than not that want you to fail. They actually thrive on seeing people fail. I had a friend like this in high school who would laugh when someone got hurt. Have you ever met anybody like this? Hey, Dees, how you doing, buddy? And Jeff, of course, you guys rock. Listen, guys, head over to YouTube, though. Subscribe and ding the bell over there because that's where the show goes. I'm filming the screen over here on Insta. Gotta do it. So go ding that bell and make sure you subscribe because this show is going every day now on YouTube. Instagram, I'm sorry, I gotta film you. I gotta just throw the camera on the screen. But we're here today, guys, for day 386 in a row. And I need some energy. Who's gonna feed me some energy right now? Someone give me some love because I really need it. Let's see what you got over here. Dees, how you doing, my friend? Thanks you for tuning in. This is Real Talk Day 386. I'm not sure what I'm going to play for you guys today. I'm going to have to keep it down a level because I've got my manager out there. I've got my admin out there. And I'm not going to be able to belt. So I may just do some instrumental jam for you or something. We'll figure that out when we get over to the guitar. But yes, I am in the USA right now, my friend. I'm about an hour outside of New York City. You know, where are you from? Where are you coming in from, my friend? Shoot me a note. Tell me where you're from. I love that this program connects with people from all over the world. Because honestly, I feel like I'm a bit of a recluse. It's interesting. I'm here with you guys live for 386 days in a row. But in general, I keep to myself. I spend my time with my family. I don't have that many friends. Like, I think about that. I'm like, now that is like a subjective thing, whether you want to have friends or what you consider friends. I'm friendly with everybody. I don't have problems with anybody. But I really don't do much. I like to I like to keep to myself, and I like to, if you think about it in these terms, think about what you pay for your house each month, okay? Just look at the nut for your monthly mortgage, and then just divide that by 30. And then you'll figure out how much it costs for you to just be standing in that house every single day. And then you'll start saying to yourself, I don't want to go anywhere then. If it costs me this much for me to own this house on a daily basis, I got to make this much on a daily basis just to buy this house. I don't want to go anywhere. I want to just be home. I know that sounds weird, but so semi-recluse, but here I'm the voyeur, obviously, here on Real Talk. I come out here and just let it all fly. But in general, I enjoy the solace of being alone. It's a very nice thing. And I think that's going to be kind of flipped on its head this year, because 2020 is the year I go out, get from behind this microphone, and I get out in front of you. And we actually start conversing and interacting in person. My man from Germany, dies ich liebe dich. And I'm going to say Dankeschön. I don't know if I'm saying that right. My wife is German. She goes, it's not schön, it's schön. Dankeschön. And I'm like, okay, I thought I said that. Sprechende Deutsch. No, I don't speak German, unfortunately. My wife speaks German. My mother-in-law, my children's Uma, she's from Germany, from Nuremberg. So that's our connection to Germany. And I hope to bring the kids to Germany one day. I'd love to see Germany. This gets back to what we talked about a few weeks ago. I had this dream as a kid to get out and see the world. I wanted to get out there and see it all. And I haven't seen anything. I've been to Portugal, been to Florida, the Bahamas, California. I've traveled the country, in my car. But in general, I haven't been really anywhere I hoped to go. And look, you take a path and you wind up somewhere. Mine has been local for the most part. U.S. bound. But I still got years left, guys. We don't know where this Real Talk program goes. We don't know if before you know it, I'm out in Germany on a stage, Real Talk in a crowd in German. Or maybe we have to have my buddy Dice over there come in and actually translate for us, because I don't speak German. But I will stand in front of that crowd of Germans and say, Ich liebe dich, which I believe means I love you. And I only know that because I have 3 kids, and I say that to them all the time. And it's because my mother-in-law says that to them, and so does my wife. I think it's one of the most beautiful things in the world to understand and to be able to speak another language. And the fact that I feel that way and I can't speak another language is very telling. I think I got to learn some languages, guys. Just continue to build out the essence of who I am. Because I got a little Portuguese in me. Not enough to have a conversation. A tiny bit of Spanish. Could probably get by. Not really. Can't talk. Can't speak Spanish. Understand a few things. My father used to have this great joke that he could speak a little bit of every single language in the world. Well, except Greek. And he'd be like, yeah, test me. Go on. I'd be like, okay, how about Tanzanian? No, that's Greek to me. That old gag. That was my dad's gag. I liked that one. It's Greek to me. So I think it's kind of an interesting thing. This new project's coming out, and I'm excited to put it on the market. I get like really amped when I get to take new photos of a new listing, when I get to market that property, when I get to go out and just blast it out on social media and start showing it. Like, I really do love selling real estate, guys. I'm not sure if you understand that. This is something I've enjoyed doing very much for the last 13 years. And the only thing that bothers me is when I'm looking for new clients. That's the one miss in this business. And when you think about the fact that there are so many realtors in this general area, like you could throw a stone and hit a realtor. Not even joking. Throw a stone and you'll hit a realtor in the face. I'd be like, wait a second. Where did that stone come from? Like, where did that realtor come from? Like, they're everywhere. Like, everyone's a realtor, or at least has their license, especially where I grew up. It's like, oh, I moved to town. I guess I'll just get my real estate license. I'm like, what? Do you want to sell real estate? Like, no, I just get the license just in case I ever want to. Like, really? You're going to do that? There are a lot of people in my town that got that going on. My buddy, little Mark, what's going on, pal? If you think about it this way, for the most part, the average in the town I work is 1.4 transactions a year. How do you even survive? 1.4 transactions a year. I'll tell you how they survive. They aren't the only breadwinner. Most of these people, it's just a secondary income. I don't know if I could count it on my hand, but it is a small group of full-time, like all-in professionals in my small community here. A lot of people are full-time agents, but they're not like all-in agents. They're still like, oh, I'm going away this weekend. I don't go anywhere, guys. I take that 1 week to go to, I take my 1 week a year with the kids and the family. But besides that, like, I'm here putting in the work. If you're not willing to tie up those shoes on a daily basis and do the grunt work in order to make it somewhere, you'll always struggle. And yes, the time you're tying those shoes and you're doing the grunt work is struggle. Yes, absolutely struggle. But you got to break through the struggle. You got to get through it. If you want to try to find the light on the other side, it hurts so much before you get there. In fact, it will hurt so much that you'll feel like quitting. You'll feel like just stopping. You say, you know what, I've had enough, but you'll just keep going. That's what it's about. You just keep going, no matter how much you're beaten down, no matter how much the people around you aren't supporting you. Support yourself. I told you, we have to self-generate. You have to generate your own positivity, your own energy on a daily basis. I'm trying to do that here today. Honestly, I'm like 40% energy-wise. I was up really late last night building a BeatSeat. And I'm working on this really cool BeatSeat right now, guys. It's going to be Sunburst. A Sunburst BeatSeat, just like a guitar. So that should be ready by tomorrow. And I just got an order today for a junior BeatSeat. So tonight I'll be building a junior BeatSeat. I'm not looking for anybody to say, oh, take a rest, buddy. Like, I've been waiting for order. I want orders. I'll go and build. I won't sleep. I will just build BeatSeats when I'm not selling real estate if the orders come in. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I could use the sleep, but I'm fine with that. We're trying to build a business out here. The only way that happens is if we sell product. So order comes in. Yeah, I'm going home to build that thing today. I can't wait. Super pumped about it. Let's see. So I'm going to move on to the news because it is going to be a shorter day. Got to make sure I get home for my wife's appointment. I'm just saying, guys, you have to be a team player. It's not all about you, all right? When your spouse needs to go somewhere, you make sure you look at that clock and get going. Oh, sorry, I was doing real talk. No, I'm just kidding. But no, you got to be conscious of your clock. I wanted to start 45 minutes earlier. I didn't get to it today. I got a phone call right before I was about to push live. And that lasted 20 minutes. I'm like, ugh, geez. So now we're here. Let's get into the news, and then I'm going to rock out some music for you. What do we got today? What's going on in the news? How about this? Life on Earth. Did you guys hear about this? Now, this kind of bothers me. I just set these up, and now they're not looking right. There we go. Here we go. So, this is interesting, guys. Life on Earth could have arrived on a comet. We talked about this a few weeks ago, and they're proving it to be a possible reality. Let's see what they say here. Did the building blocks of life on Earth arrive in an ancient comet impact? With chemicals inside a hurtling comet making life on our planet possible. This theory gained new support this week as a study showed that comets may be covered in ammonium salts. Yeah, ammonium salts containing nitrogen, which is a building block for life. Previous measurements of comets, such as the European comet mission Giotto, flew past Halley's Comet 3 decades ago, found a surprising lack of nitrogen. but new measurements of dust from Comet 67P Churyumov-Gerasimenko, yeah, that's a thing, from the European Space Agency's Rosetta space probe suggest that nitrogen may be present in the form of salts. Less than a month before the end of the Rosetta mission, the probe was a mile above the surface of 67P as it flew through a dust cloud from the comet. Catherine Altweg of the University of Bern said the dust almost destroyed our instrument and confused Rosetta's position control. Thanks to the flight through the dust cloud, it was possible to detect substances which normally remain in the cold environment of the comet on the dust particles and therefore cannot be measured. I'm not sure what the hell I just read, guys. Anyway, we came up with the idea that the incidence of ammonia in the Rosetta orbiter spectrometer for ion and neutral analysis could potentially be traced back to the occurrence of ammonium salts. So basically, I do believe we came from the comets. I have this new theory that there obviously is life everywhere. This is proved by this and by everything else we're reading lately. If the only way we are here, if life formed on Earth because it came from a comet, then the only reality is it came from outer space. Okay? We know that. We came from outer space. That's right. We are aliens. Number one. Number two, if we needed these couple of chemical compounds, whatever it is, in order for life to be possible, but they could only come from a comet, where did that comet gather all of that ammonium or whatever it is? Outer space, from another planet, from another star system. So if building blocks to life came from a comet, from outer space, therefore life is everywhere. Everywhere. Every single place there's life. This is my theory. You could go to Pluto and find life. It's not what we consider life, not carbon life form, but there's something there that's living. Every single planet, no matter if it's a million degrees below Celsius, there is a life form there because something can exist because of these building blocks. They came from outer space. Guys, we're aliens. Don't even fresh me out on that one. It's real. That's my saying, by the way. It makes no sense, and I love it. With my kids, I'll say that to them sometimes. I'll be like, don't fresh me out. They're like, what? It's a good way to catch someone off guard. If someone is being like, if you don't like how someone's attitude is towards you, you could just say something and go, don't fresh me out. And they'll be like, what the heck are you saying? Like, don't fresh me out. Don't fresh me out. That's like, don't let me down. You know that song? Anyway, listen. I'm just saying it. Not a scientist, as you know, but it feels right. If we came from the universe, if the only way life formed on this planet was because of a few different types of minerals and, ammonium, and they talked about phosphorus, something that doesn't originate on Earth. Well, it came from the universe. Therefore, if we became life because of something in outer space that came here and landed on our planet, then everywhere the same thing happened. And there is life everywhere. We just can't see close enough to observe it. But there are people and other planets all scattered all over the galaxy, all over the universe. And it's not just a few. It's like trillions. That's something that'll blow your mind. It's not that there's one planet out there where there's human beings also. They're also living in that one planet all the way across the solar system. No, there are trillions. Unlimited. Google amount of planets with life. Now here's the thing. Who could say I'm wrong? Everybody could say I'm wrong. But who could say I'm right? Nobody, but nobody could say I'm wrong either, really, because nobody knows. Nobody knows. I'm telling you, that's what it is. Life is everywhere. Building blocks came from a comet. Comet comes from outer space, flies around the universe, picks up things in the process, drops on planet Earth. Life forms. Okay, so if that happened here, is that by chance? No, it happens everywhere. Everywhere. There is a connection a cataclysmic event where all of a sudden life forms. And they're probably all looking around saying, we're the only ones out there. There's no way there's anything else but us. We're so lucky. I know that the religious folks have a problem with aliens. The religious folks have a problem with more than one planet Earth or whatever. Life out of this solar system, whatever, is a problem for the Jesus believers and whatever faith. I don't get it. Why? Why is it a problem if there are other planets and there are other lives out there and they believe in something besides Jesus? I think that's the problem. Is all these religions say, well, if you don't believe what we say, you can't get to what we tell you is out there. When the reality is there's nothing out there. You get one life. You get to enjoy it. You get these moments. And then there's no realization of anything beyond. Just like there was no realization of anything before your first breath. The history of time happened, guys. You don't remember it. Why? Because you weren't here and it didn't bother you either. So same thing, once you're gone, you won't even remember being here. It was just a droplet of sand, you know? And it's a sad thing to think about. Like, yeah, I'd love it if there was like this beautiful white cloud where we all go and we discuss philosophy without getting angry at each other. Like, is that what people think is really going on? I think it's just a collection of energy. You go back into it. You're at peace. And maybe you go back into something else. I don't know. Who knows? There's really no way to figure out what the heck is going on out there. But I would tell you, take heed and just keep in mind, if we formed here on this planet because of some comet dropping here and bringing some vital elements to our atmosphere, then there's a guarantee that every single planet out there had the same thing happen. And it's not just one. There's not one other Earth-like planet that has humans or some other carbon-formed life. It's everywhere. Every single planet out there has something. And Mars, too. I'll tell you what, when they go there, they're going to find something alive there. I don't know what. It may be some microorganisms, whatever, but they'll find life. They will find life there. In fact, what I think they'll find at Mars is underground. I bet you they find something underground in Mars. Just like 50,000 years ago, maybe it wasn't 50, but there was a period of time in our history where it was so cold on planet Earth, you couldn't go to the surface or you would die from exposure. There were human beings living underground in cities. This is not something I'm making up. This is real. There were cities underground 18,000 to 50,000 years ago, and civilizations in the earth. So if we did that, you do what you have to survive, correct? Was there a period of time where the Martian landscape was different and all of a sudden the people had to do what they needed to in order to survive, which was go interior? Geez, we're getting onto a science episode today, huh? Random. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. How about that? Let's see what we got over here. This is a great story by my friend Phil Hall. I want to thank you, Phil, for sharing this one with me. You are the man, my friend. And it's a pretty interesting story. And I didn't read it, so we're going to read it right now. Seoul plans housing development above highway. I'm interested already. When Phil sent this over, I'm like, yeah, I'll add this one to tomorrow's show. When it comes to finding available space in a crowded urban metro to construct new housing, the municipal government in South Korea, capital of Seoul, came up with a unique solution. Build it above a busy highway. Emma, you're the best. Emma says she doesn't think that they'll find life, but traces of former life. No, that could be true too. I think you're right. Like, there won't be any life on the surface of Mars. However, if my theory is correct, that some life form, something went interior when the sun wasn't as strong or whatever it is. Again, I'm speaking totally out of my ear, but there could be something interior in the planet there. And if there isn't, I don't know. Let me revise what I'm saying, okay? Still, I think carbon is one thing, but just life form, bacteria, whatever you want to call it, I have a feeling that's everywhere. And if it's not everywhere, it's absolutely on the planets that are within the range that they say, like, oh, it's within, it has the parameters necessary to house life or to have life be possible on that planet. Like anything like that that's within one of those areas has life. There's not even a question. If it has water, it has life. And if they had a comet land there like we did, there's life. We just won't know. My scientist friend says it best. We'll never find out. He said there's no way we'll ever find, unless there is really a technology out there where people can split from one area through a black hole and wind up here like in seconds. Besides that, he's like, it takes so long to get from place to place. We will never meet up with somebody. We'll always be missing them. They'll leave now and get here 400,000 years later. Whatever, 40,000 years later. They send a probe. By the time it gets here, we're all gone. So you could pick a star out of a hat and be like, oh, you know what? We're going to that star. And just start going towards that star. And like 1,000 years later, they get to that star. But everyone died like 600 years ago. And they were looking at us too, wondering if there was anything on that planet all the way out there. And over that 1,000 years, so covering the distance from space to space, that's the challenge. And I saw some amazing footage the other day from the Navy. The Navy said they have this footage they're not going to release, and basically that they have tons of other UFO footage. And this one pilot was talking about an aircraft that was doing barrel rolls around him at like Mach, right? And then it went straight down 35,000 feet into the ocean and then straight back up in the air within seconds. And he said it was moving at he said something ridiculous, like 1,300, Mach 1,300 or something stupid, like some number I don't even think you could comprehend. Then he followed it up with human beings, any carbon life form would be plastered against the wall, would literally die at Mach 9, I think is the max, where your body just starts to break down. So he's like, there's no way anybody could be in that aircraft. Now, is it a drone? We're using drone technology. Don't you think a highly intelligent civilization beyond us would not send any of its actual people or whatever you call them, aliens? It would actually send just drones to do reconnaissance? I don't know. It seems like that to me. Because then you could do barrel rolls all you want. There's no life inside. Some guy in a remote control back in Guadalajara. It's a small star right outside of Osiris. And it's also a place in Southern America. Anyway, I just wanted to say, let's read this story about Seoul, Korea. Let's see what they're planning on doing over here. Seoul Housing Communities has released a blueprint for the artificial plot of land to be built above a 1,640-foot section of Bukbu Expressway. Let's see. The blueprint also envisions approximately 44,000 square feet set aside for new offices and youth support centers in the space next to the highway. So basically, they're going to build out this, a neighborhood above. How do you even do that? Can they show a picture? I was hoping for them to show me a picture here because I don't know what this thing even looks like. The blueprint also envisions, the city plans to break ground on the new site in the second half of 2021 and to complete its process by 2024. Guys, if you want to see a little bit more about this, just look on Mortgage Professional Magazine. And Seoul plans housing development above highway. It's kind of crazy. We'll give him that one. Let's move on to the next. This one, it gets me a little nervous. Anytime I see stuff like this, I freak out. So, the first U.S. case of a deadly coronavirus reported in Washington state, the CDC says. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on Tuesday confirmed the first U.S. case of a deadly new coronavirus that has killed 6 people in China. This is on mainland, guys. I'm a little nervous about this. The CDC and Washington state officials said the man, in his 30s, was in good condition at Providence Regional Medical Center in Everett. Nancy Monsonier, director of the Center of National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases, called the news concerning. We're still in the early days of this investigation. The CDC, which last week began enhanced health screenings at airports in San Francisco, New York, and Los Angeles, said Atlanta and Chicago would be added to the list. All traveling from Wuhan to U.S. are now being rerouted to these airports, officials said. Hundreds of people in China have been diagnosed with the virus. Most of the city of Wuhan. Wow. Oh, okay. Most of them have been in the city of Wuhan. But it has spread to other areas of the country, and a handful of cases have been diagnosed in Thailand, South Korea, and Japan. The World Health Organization, or WHO, I don't know that song, is gathering a panel of experts on coronavirus Wednesday in Geneva, Switzerland, to determine whether the outbreak constitutes an international public health emergency and how it can be managed. Many of the initial cases, were linked to a seafood market in Wuhan. Wuhan? Let's call it Wuhan. But Chinese health officials said that this week that human-to-human transmission has been confirmed. Yeah, we're here in the U.S. and somebody brought it. They're just dropping it left and right to people. Uh-oh, what did I just do? That's what happens when you smack your mouse on the top. Let's see. This is what happens to you. The coronavirus may lead to a severe form of pneumonia, which may be deadly, said Robert Glatter, an emergency physician at New York's Lenox Hill Hospital. People with a history of chronic lung disease may be at higher risk for adverse outcomes. We must be vigilant to ensure that adequate screening processes are in place at all airports. Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses that cause illness ranging from common cold to more severe diseases such as pneumonia, MERS, and SARS. No, tell me what's going on. So Emma said that something's going on between China and the government. Is what are the Uyghurs? See, that's what I need your help with, because we definitely don't hear anything about that in the U.S. I'll tell you what we hear about in the U.S., Emma. All we hear about is two political parties bashing each other. That's it. I turn on the news, and that's all I hear. I go onto YouTube, into Yahoo to try to find a story for the show. This politician said this. This Republican said this. This Democrat said this. I'm like, ugh. So no, I don't even know what happened over there, but I'm going to have to look into this one tonight, and maybe I'll bring it up tomorrow. Unless you could tell us what the story is, shoot me a little message here, Emma. But the coronaviruses, that's what Ebola, SARS, these are all things, these are coronaviruses. Guys, this is in the U.S., and I don't know how we stop it. It's just so scary. This world is getting out of control. Out of control. All right, this is a good one, guys. This is a good one for us to end on over here. Hey, NM Personal Trainer, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. This is day 386 in a row. I've been live every day since December 31st, 2018. And we do 45 minutes to an hour and a half every day. Unscripted, positivity, motivation. Just here to inspire you to be your best and to find that unique genius within you. You have it. We all have it. Some of us, it takes us a little longer to find. But when we do, that's when glory becomes ours. That's when you have the opportunity to find true happiness. I'm here to help you find that. So tune in every day. Please subscribe and ding the bell, my friend, Mr. Personal Trainer. Let's rock it. So I got a great one for you here, guys. This is the final story of the day. Real Talk News. My man from the UK. I love it. Here's a story for you. How 5 short intentions can help people recovering from depression stay on track. About 1/6. Oh my goodness, buddy, this is by chance. Check this out. You just said you're from the UK, right? Check out the first line to this story, my friend. About 1 in 6 people in England report experiencing anxiety or depression in any given week. And depression is a major cause of disability worldwide. Some people have experienced very adverse experiences over their lives, leading to low self-esteem and other vulnerabilities, which can make people susceptible to depression. Difficult life circumstances, such as financial problems, loneliness, stresses at work, among family or in relationships, poor physical health, and genetic vulnerabilities also contribute. Even long-term depression can be treated. But the lifetime risk that the depression returns has been reported at about 50% for those experiencing one episode of major depression. with the likelihood increasing over further episodes. I'm a little nervous about this, guys. Oh, I'm loving that. So NM Personal Trainer says depression's prominent here, and he helps a lot of people with that. I'm very glad to hear you say that, my friend. I'm here doing the same thing. I've been here for 386, just providing light. That's what I think about. I didn't go to school for this. I didn't take any classes when I was in school on what I've been talking about for 386 days. The amount of the philosophy, the concept of just human kindness that's come out of this show in 386, and the idea of helping and giving to people in order to find the happiness that we all deserve. But it comes from giving, and it comes from looking out for those around you and making sure that they get the most out of life. And when you open up your heart to that opportunity, that heart grows for you. And I actually talked about yesterday about Steve Jobs, how Steve Jobs wrote this amazing final letter to the world. And it's basically about how he spent so much time building wealth. He spent so much time building his bank account, but he didn't fill his heart. He didn't build the moments. He didn't build the experiences that love and light can give you by giving and giving. He said he was a taker. It's just like, I did this, I'm going to go and I'm going to just become. But what about those around you? What about the ones who want to share a life with you? You're going to shut them down because you're building something? Why would you do that? This time is so short. If you could find someone who makes you feel good, hold on to them, because they're going to be gone before you know it. You got to take advantage of your moments, take advantage of the people around you while they're around you. Learn what you can from them, love them while you can, and then appreciate them and think about them when they're not. I think that's what we all need to do. Yes, my friend. I am absolutely going to be emailing you. I am. Oh, my man, Phil. I love it. Yeah, my friend, personal trainer, I'm going to DM. Can you DM me, my friend? Actually, my email is mark@markpyersrealtalk.com. But I absolutely want to. My goal this year in 2020 is to come out from behind the microphone and to sit across from people and to just hear them. I want to just feel them. And I find a lot of times people say things, but there's more behind the words. There's more emotion behind the words than they're actually saying in their words. And it's hard for me to get that through a screen. It's hard for me to get that through a phone call. But when I can look someone in the eyes, and when they're trying their best to not let that truth out, it comes out, guys. And if you are someone like my friend here in the UK or me who is here on a mission to help, here to bring light to this world, my mission is to effect a positive change one person at a time. Today, my friend personal trainer's on. That's one person today, new person that recognizes the show. That's my goal. One day, one person at a time, affect positive change. You know, I talk about how this is a 45-minute to an hour and a half show every single day. But you could tune in at any time, and it's all the same. It's all just passion and energy and the moment happening in front of you. Unscripted for 386 days. Freely letting the world take me wherever it needs to take me. And in that is where I find my comfort. That's where I find my solace. When I start holding my emotions in, when I start keeping these thoughts of mine in my head and not letting them out, I think that's when I get confused. I think that's when I start to get overwhelmed. And maybe when I get anxious. I don't know. I've never found myself to be necessarily anxious or, down on myself. But the more you hold stuff in, it will weigh you down. The more you hold in your emotions, it'll weigh you down. And the more you push that anger and frustration down, brings you down. The only way to lighten up is let it out. You got to lighten up your soul. Remember, the easiest way to do that is go out and give. You could do that right now. You could get up right now, walk outside, and the first person you see, just do one thing. Look at them and go like this. Hi, how are you? That's it. You just affected change in somebody. That's simple. Hi, how are you? That is real change. All you did was let someone know they exist and that you recognize them and you smiled at them. And what do I say here on this show? What's my quote? A smile has an energetic value that costs 0 to the currency holder. It costs 0 to me. So, if it costs me 0 to give, why am I holding them back? Why am I holding it in? Why am I not just walking around with a permagrin everywhere I go? Well, because you don't want to be fake, Mark. You don't want to look. It's who I am. I'm not going to stop smiling just because you're miserable. I'm trying to affect positive change in you. I keep looking at you and you're just, you know what? I tried with you. I gave it a shot. But you know my rule. My rule is you can only try, and you could try to give, and you could try to make someone feel better. But if they start to bring you down, get the hell out of there. Just get the heck out. Just run as fast as you can. Your happiness is so important. And don't let someone else's bad day take you out of your great day. Something to remember. So I think that was, I didn't even get to the gist of the story. So let me just get to it here. We get going on Real Talk. This is what happens. Let's see if they have these five short intentions. I'm going to just tell you what they are, and maybe this will help some of you guys. As I said here, I am here to help. So if you do have anything you want to discuss or anything you need to get out, let me know. Let's see if I'll read a couple of things over here. Phil, you rock. Oh, my goodness. I heard about that. Phil said today would have been Benny Hill's birthday. Actually, is that one it? Is that Benny Hill? Or was it? No, I think it was. I used to love Benny Hill when I was a kid. He'd always just be like, oh, Benny Hill rocked. Let's see what else we got over here. Oh, my email address is mark@markpyersrealtalk.com. Very, very simple. And I would love to connect with you and see if we can somehow work out something here. Because like I said, to me, this is not enough. I'm here every day forever doing this. But to me, soul fulfillment comes when I actually can stand in front of somebody and I can help that way. And I can feel, their energy, and I can understand how to make a change. That's what I really want to do. So I keep thinking, Michael, my buddy Michael, you're the man. That's why I keep thinking, how's the other way? I'm calling places. I called schools this week. I was like, look, if you guys want to have me in, I want to come in and speak to the students. And I want to talk about entrepreneurship. And I want to talk about not giving up when you fail and redirecting when you fail and learning that failure is just you learning what you're not good at. It's not failing. If anything, you are going through your life deducting everything. There's so many things out there. You need to look at all 100 things, 100 possible things, and start knocking them off one by one and get a really strong, small group of things that you can do and know what you can do well. If you could do 1,000,000 things and you don't try any of them because you're afraid you're going to fail, you lived a life for naught. If there are 1,000 things you could do and you try all 1,000 and you fail at all 1,000, you lived a life. Some may say you lived a life of failure. I'd say you lived a life of adventure. And I'm pretty sure if there's 1,000 things you can do, even if 999 of them you are horrible at, there is one that you are a genius at. There's one that you do better than me, that you do better than everybody. That's real. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of different motivational speakers and entrepreneurs. They call it a gift. Oh, that guy has a gift, or she's gifted. And I'm like, yeah, gifted is one thing, but it's more what you were born with. It's not a gift. It is an internal genius. And some of us find it right away. Some of us find it when we're 13, 15, 20 years old. Some of us are 40 years old on New Year's Eve, 2018, and we start something for a different reason. And 386 days later, you're here realizing that you began the purpose of life. You actually started something that is the purpose of life for you. And you had no intention of it being that. You didn't even know it was going to be that. I started this thing just to remind people I'm a real estate agent. Hey, when you want to buy a house, when you want to sell a house, you should give me a ring. Not to give me the listing, but to interview me. I want to be interviewed. I want to sit across from someone and I want to be grilled. I want them to ask me the tough questions. I like being questioned. I like being interrogated by a seller before they decide to give me the listing. I want that. I can't tell you the amount of people out there that are like, I hope they don't ask this question. I hope they don't ask that question. I'm like, ask me anything. I want to experience that question in real time and deliver an answer to you in real time. Nothing is off limits. Nothing would scare me. I wouldn't have a problem saying something that made me feel awkward or uncomfortable. I talked to you guys today, the other day, about losing a listing that I worked my tail off for over a year on. And I had someone say, geez, why'd you do that, Mark? It makes you seem like you're not a good realtor. I said, if someone thinks I'm not a good realtor, if they watch the show and think I'm not a good realtor, they're not watching the show. The way people respond to life and how they react to the way they are in their own lives, you have no control over. All I can control is my action. My action over a year and a half was ridiculously sound. I did so much for these people, above and beyond stuff, to the point of even when I wasn't on the market, I went over there on Christmas Eve to try to put a deal together. Who would do that when the house wasn't on the market? Someone who goes above and beyond, someone who will try anything to try to put a deal together. And so basically, I'm going to talk about my wins and losses. I'm not here to talk about the wins only, guys. I'm not here to tell you, oh, look at me, guys. Look, I'm driving this and I'm driving. None of that stuff matters. What I did yesterday happened. It's what I'm doing today that is important. What I do today defines where I go tomorrow. Not what happened yesterday. It's already over. What I do with the rest of my day today defines my tomorrow. And don't sit back and wait for things to come to you. They just will not come to you. They will not. I meant to get in touch with Michael. Michael, I'm going to send you an email as well because Michael's been doing this and Michael inspired me. He's been speaking at all these different events and venues. And I'm like, you know what? When I saw that, I was like, I love that Michael's out there doing that. He's getting in front of people. He's experiencing life. He's experiencing what it's like to actually communicate with people and help people and be there for them. I'm here for you, but I'm here for a camera. I'm not looking at you. I want to make eye contact. I want to shake your hand. And so that's why my goal is to get out and start. I'm still going to be here every day, but at night I'll be at a venue. Or lunchtime I'm speaking at this place. I'll be back at 3 o'clock to talk about it. Next week I have Maria Acosta's coming back on the show. She came on about 5 months ago to do a segment with me during an event we had, which was totally awesome. She's a really, really inspirational, motivational health instructor, and she's an influencer. Really cool, extremely passionate and energetic. So I'm looking forward to having her on the show next week. And we're going to get into a lot of stuff like we did last time. Actually, I asked her if she could come on and share some tips with you guys on how to stay healthy going into the spring of 2020. I know everybody wants to have that beach bod, right? Ooh, I want to look great when I go to the beach. Like, okay, cool. Well, we're going to have her come in and share a couple of tips with you guys. And she is a personal trainer as well. So you could always have her take care of you if you wanted to have her get involved. So we'll get all that going. I've got another I've got a bunch of stuff lined up, guys. I just need to get the schedule figured out. And we're going to start having people in and interviewing lots of people here on the Real Talk program. So I didn't really get into what these 5 intentions were because it's not listed. It's just an article here. So do you want me to read the whole article? I'll read it. What the hey? Let's see what they say. Greater numbers of people experiencing mental health problems and greater awareness of effective treatments has increased demand for services. This is what we were just talking about. In recent years, this has led to an investment through improving access to the psychological... 441. Oop, I got to go, guys. Listen, I will see you guys tomorrow. No music today. I'm sorry about that. I told you guys about paying attention to the clock. Well, the clock telling me right now that I got to get out of here. I can't believe I did this. What? How long have I been on? 55 minutes. Oh, we're supposed to play something. All right, I got an idea. I'm just going to rock this for you. It's going to be a little jam along with the BeatSeat. I think that's gotta be it, guys. All right, guys, I think that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow on the next Real Talk. I appreciate you. It's Mark Pyers.